Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Well, guys, this is a very special stream tonight. I normally don't do Wednesday night streams, but you know what? When special occasions and opportunities present themselves, you make time to do them. And that's what we're doing tonight. This is not going to be a normal live stream. No, this is going to be something completely different, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a couple of great guests here. One of them is a surprise guest, and I'm very excited to announce here in just a moment. Just to take care of some stuff ahead of time, as anytime I have a panel of guests here, I do want to let you know that there'll be a portion of time we'll try to save for a little Q&A. So if you do have questions that you'd like to ask my guests regarding them personally or the film we're going to be discussing, then absolutely send those in the live chat. We'll try to get to them, but as you guys know, we will not get to everyone's questions. It's just a matter of time. It's just impossible. But I will make you one promise. If you do send in a super chat question tonight, I promise that we are going to be guaranteed to get that up right away. We'll move you to the front of the line so that everyone can take a look and respond. All right. So the last thing I want to mention before I introduce them is that we're going to be doing a non-spoiler discussion of the Headless Horseman film tonight. So we're going to keep it a higher level because we want you to go and watch the movie. We don't want to spoil it for you. We want to get you excited if you've not seen it yet to go see it. So that's what this is about tonight, to get you to, give you a chance to get acquainted with it. But we don't want to just spoil it for you. That's no fun. All right. So those are the kind of the ground rules, guys. And we're going to dive right in. Tonight, we're talking about the brand new film, Headless Horseman. And I have to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, and I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun watch, and it's a great story as well. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, we're going to talk about it. This is what we're getting into. It's such a great movie, and I'm really happy to have a guest back that I've had on the channel several times before. And this is the first time, though, that I'm bringing him in as a writer director of a film. And normally we're talking theories, commentary on movies. So it's a little different, and I'm very excited about it. And I want to introduce you guys, first of all, to the writer and director of the film Headless Horseman. You guys know him as Master Chaos TV or Master Chaos, and but the movie-going public knows him as Jose Prendes. Jose, welcome to the stream.
Hey man, thank you for having me on, Steven. It's nice to be back.
It is.
And normally we're usually ranting and raving about Scream or Halloween,
Yes.
but tonight I appreciate you shedding a light on the movie, man. That really means a lot.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It really is. And I think you've done a fabulous job, man. I'm so excited to get
Thank you.
into not too many specifics, but to some stuff. And I got some stuff to find out. I can't wait.
Okay.
And guys, what I haven't announced is a surprise, and this is really something I'm excited about. Jose was able to make it work out to have a special guest join us from the film. In fact, not just a guest, one of the very key performances of this film, who just amazing. And I want to introduce you now, Mr. Ethan Daniel Corbett, who plays Angel in the film. Ethan, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
All
What's
right.
up?
Nice to have you. Seriously, it's an honor.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Well,
We
guys.
have a freeze out.
Oh, yeah. Are we good? Am I frozen? Oh, no.
Well, hi to everybody in the chat, by the way.
There you are.
If we're still
Are you
live.
there?
Hello,
Everybody's
Chad.
okay.
All right. Can you
Everybody's
guys hear
froze.
me? Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we
Can
go.
you hear me? Okay. I don't know what's
Okay.
going on. All right.
What-
It's craziness. Okay. So this is just a really exciting time. I'm very, very excited. So let's get started first of all. Master Chaos. Let's start with, where did this all begin, my friend? Because you wrote it and directed it, so it's your story. So tell us how you came to your story.
I'd worked with the Asylum previously. My third film was written and directed with them, called The Haunting of Whaley House, and then I left to pursue the Hollywood game and all that stuff, and then the pandemic hit and everything froze, and I was like, okay, so that's when I started Master Chaos, actually, just to keep myself sane. But I
Hmm.
love movies. I love making movies. That's what I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. So I went back to Asylum and I found out they had been making movies through the pandemic somehow. They never stopped, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I'd love to come back and do something. And this was literally a year ago. Well, actually, um, more than a year ago. But I started working on this last June. So yeah,
Oh
more than
wow.
a year ago, for the outline. And usually their movies are done really fast. I mean, this was sort of a fast process, regardless. But they said, we want to do a Headless Horseman movie. Is that interesting to you? And I said, yeah, that sounds good. We worked a bit on what the outline was going to be, the reality of making something like this. They didn't tell me the budget. They didn't tell me how many days. We'll get into all the nitty gritty of filmmaking. But they said, let's do a Headless Horseman movie. And so after a couple outlines, we broke down what the story was going to be, what the characters were going to be, what it was going to be about, what we were going to do, what I wanted to do with it. And I didn't know if I was directing yet. Honestly, didn't find out that I was directing this until a month before pre-production. So at
Whoa.
the point, I was just writing it. I'm like, I don't know how the heck they're going to pull this movie off. It makes no. This is going to be really difficult. And then they dropped the bomb on me after I write the first draft, which is like they wanted a 110-page script.
Okay.
Then they dropped the bomb on me that it's going to be a 6-day shoot. Six
Are you
days.
serious, dude?
Yeah,
6 days?
6 days.
Oh. Oh.
And I'm looking at the script. I'm like, there's no way. 6 days.
Mm-mm.
There's no friggin' way. And they're like, no, you can't change the script. You can change our notes, but you can't do any tweaks to
Wow.
it because the outline's been approved and blah, blah, blah. So I had to find a way to make this a 6-day movie. And I'm honored by my cast and crew that we were all able to come together and we
Whew.
we did it. We shot it in 6 days, technically 7 with a pickup day, but that wasn't with a
Wow.
full crew. That was just me and my DP.
Good night. So how many hours of sleep did you get in 6 days? That's what I want to know because you had to be taking like 2 hour naps and we were back at it.
Well, that's what sucks a little bit. But well, there's a lot that sucks. But what sucks about it is that we could not go over 12 hours.
Oh,
So we
shoot.
couldn't. They wouldn't. I mean, on a real indie low budget movie, you would shoot 18 hours, and
Right.
people would just say that's what we gotta do. We couldn't go over 12 hours. They wouldn't let us. We're
Mm,
shooting mostly at night, so
yep.
sometimes our day would start, and we'd have to wait 2 hours to shoot. So we had 10-hour days. So it was even more
Wow.
compacted than that.
Wow.
So for the most part, I actually got okay sleep because I wasn't looking at dailies. I didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
The producers were, but it was just kind of a grind and 10 hours rush, get through it and try to make it as special and as much of not make it feel like a 6-day movie, not make it
Yeah.
feel like a movie that was shot in
Hmm.
6 days with a very small budget. And I think luckily we pulled that off.
I'm shocked, honestly, having seen the movie. I would have never guessed that was 6 days. Seriously, my mind was blown just now when you said 6 days. I thought you maybe were
Yeah.
going to say, 16, 18 days or something like that, or 20 days, maybe, um, or even 14 if you're really pushing it, but not
Right,
six.
right.
That's crazy.
6 is
Um,
the shortest I've ever had to do it in.
Mm,
It's funny. I went to a
definitely.
screening. You've done 7, Ethan?
No, no, no. This is the fastest process in general that I've ever been a part of. Because I found out I was cast, then 3 days later is our first day of shooting.
whoa.
So then within 9 days,
Hmm.
my entire experience with this movie happened. So it was a roller coaster, and in a way, I think it kind of helped a little bit because sometimes as an actor, you could fall prey to overthinking, and I think
Mm,
if we don't have time, you just gotta make a choice and go for it, commit,
wow.
and that's it. And I think it kind of helped a little bit. It made it a little bit more fun too. So
Wow.
Mm.
I'm so impressed. I mean, everyone's performances and Ethan, your performance, like I said a minute ago when we met backstage, I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm meeting Ethan and not Angel because, dude, you are a bad blink in this
mm.
movie.
Oh, totally,
And
yeah.
I'm telling you what, oh boy, man, just impressed. I'm really, really impressed. You just, what a great job.
Thank you so much.
And let's talk a little bit, Ethan, about your background and how you you mentioned a minute now. You got the the audition, right? You got the word. 3 days later, you're shooting. So how did it come about that to get cast in the film? What was that process like?
It was just I sent in a tape.
Okay.
I think I sent in a tape maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months prior. I don't know. I forgot that I auditioned for it.
Mm.
But I remember auditioning for it, being like, "Oh, this sounds like a fun character to play." And I just sent in the tape. I actually thought it was my worst audition I've ever done. I was like, "I'm never gonna work again." And and I sent it in, and then like 2 months later or something like that, I just get this email. I was like, "Headless Horseman, which one was that? I don't remember." And then I was like, "Oh right, I remember now." And then it was just like a whirlwind, and then
Yes.
that's how it happened.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's awesome. Now, Jose, let me ask you, man. As far as I can imagine, locations had to be key because on such a tight time frame, you probably couldn't travel 50 miles to different locations. So, how did you map this thing out to make it efficient to film?
Well, I love the asylum. They made this possible, but there was a lot of hurdles inherent with making a movie like this. Not just 6 days, but our budget was very small. So we're shooting in Los Angeles. Everything's expensive here. We can't,
Yeah.
my dream bridge was the Lost Boys Bridge. It's out
Oh,
here in Santa
nice.
Clarita. We scouted it and was like, this is perfect, beautiful, big bridge. And we wanted to shoot there, but it was too expensive. We had to bring out bathrooms, we had to bring out power. It would have
Mhm.
been just way too expensive, too much setup. And so we had to find locations that were nearby that we can kind of curtail and work around and things like that.
Mhm.
And it's honestly, that's just kind of the fun stuff, but kind of the exhausting stuff of filmmaking. I mean, like Ethan said, he turned in his audition way early, and
Mhm.
I had him picked. He was my number one choice from the beginning.
Nice.
And I've told him this. I when I wrote Angel, like I specifically saw a person in my head. I go, I don't know if I can ever find somebody to actually say these lines the way I see it. And his audition, without any direction from me, I'm like, this is Angel. This is the
Mhm.
guy. I called my wife and I'm like, watch this. I found Angel. And we were playing and and she's like, oh yeah, yeah. So, so it was
That's
easy.
wild. That's
But then
wild.
the whole thing, it was the producers wanted approval, and I had to wait for them to approve it, and I had to keep waiting, and like they just, because they've got like 6 movies going on, so it's one of those things where they keep shuffling things around, and I wish I had more time to work with the cast, but the fact that we were kind of thrown into this war last minute, I think really bonded us, and we still text each other in a group chat, and we became this little family. So I kind of um I appreciate that condition, but I kind of wish I got to work with these people a little longer.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Y-
sure. Yeah. What do you think? Go ahead. Sorry. Wait.
Yeah, like the whole set, it had just a bunch of a huge feeling of camaraderie. Like we were all in this together. We're gonna make this happen. And I think it turned out really well too. And I think it shows on screen too that like, oh, we're gonna make this happen with despite the short amount of time that we have, and it ended up looking pretty great.
It really did. I have to say,
Yeah.
and it really did. And when it comes to, and I remember again, this is non-spoiler talk, but I am just going to say there are some moments when some special effects, let's just say, are implemented and
Hmm.
used in the story. And you know how these things go, Jose. When we're watching movies, you can sometimes live and die on the outcome of these, how the visuals of these things look, right? It can take you in or out of the movie. And I have to tell you, God's honest truth. I'm not saying this because we're friends. They didn't take me. You nailed it. They looked great. I
Oh,
watched them. I
great.
enjoyed them. I'm like, this is cool. And whenever they're implemented, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yes. So I was like in the moment. So great job, bro. Because
That's
that
cool
was
to
like,
hear.
that's a huge hurdle. I know it has to be with when you're making a film that has these kind of elements in it, right? Um,
Oh my god, I this is my first like special effects movie. With
mhm.
very with visual effects, VFX. So I was very nervous because you're right. It kind of lives and dies by that. Yeah,
Does.
and it's hard for me to separate myself from that. And then there's things I would go back and tweak. But it's just,
Mhm.
again, they don't give you any damn time, and you just got to
No.
get the movie out there and you do the best you can. And again, if the performances are good and the story is
Mhm.
fun, then that's more than half the battle to get the
Yes.
audience on board.
For sure. For sure. You nailed it. And if nothing else, man, this is a massive resume for you guys to say, watch what I can do with 21 days. Give me 30 days to shoot. Let me show you what I can do. Because you
Mhm.
nailed this. You nailed, I mean, it really looks great. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
And the
and
story's good
I
too.
thank you, thank you. I actually found out that 6 days is not typical. I think they
Mm.
do 8, they do 12. My
Dude.
last movie with them was 12.
Oh
So six
wow.
days, and they were all kind of expecting us to not make our day, like to not
Hmm.
finish the movie. But every day we're like, we did it,
Nice.
and my producer was like, I keep getting calls. Are you sure? Are you sure they're making their days? They can't possibly be making their days. Not only that, but we did more coverage than any other production I've seen come out of there in a while. But
Wow.
so I'm happy. Again, the crew and the cast were there, and it's
Yes.
everybody performing at their best.
Yes, absolutely, man. And tell me now, as far as the story goes itself, and again, we'll be careful, but we meet these characters. One in particular, we meet our protagonist, and we see things unfold. And was there any particular thing that inspired you for your characters? Like, were there certain things you drew from, or was it just imagination as you're writing it?
Well, when they pitched the story, they said, we want to do John Wick meets Headless Horseman. And so in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun because I really want to do something action heavy and choreograph some fights. And we got some fights in there, but with 6 days, you can only do so much.
Right.
So that's the first thing I cut. Actually, there was a ton more fighting, but there's no way, no time.
Yeah.
But the biggest inspiration, yeah, we went sort of John Wick, but they wanted a Marvel superhero kind of feel. So,
Hmm.
with the whole thing, the idea that the character, it's not really giving spoilers away, but the character
Sure.
has to sacrifice a part of himself to do part of this mission. My biggest inspiration was the Crow, and that's why our main character's name is Brandon. So there's a
Nice.
nice shout out to the Crow.
There you
And
go.
stuff. I mean, I kind of wanted to do a hodgepodge of everything. There's a little Wolverine, there's a little Spawn. There's
Mhm.
some vampire action in there. I kind
There
of wanted to be a,
Yeah.
a little bit a little bit of everything, a homage to everything.
Yeah, it was. It was kinda, and the vampire angle I wasn't expecting at all. I like that twist. To me, it was a twist to what I was expecting. And I have to tell you, your character who, and again, I gotta be careful, but the character that made the rules.
Uh
Right?
huh.
You know, right? The character that makes the rules. And guys, I'm talking in code, so you guys will go watch this movie because you need to see it. All right, we're not going to reveal too much. The character that makes the rules was a great character as well, well executed. I mean, everyone performed. Acting was fantastic. I mean, there wasn't one character that I'm like, yeah. I really enjoyed them all, the performances, but there was
Thank you.
something about him that just you picked. It seemed like you really did a good job of picking the right people for the right roles, because that character and that actor, when they came together, was perfect. And I don't have his name in front of me. I'm so sorry, but
It's Michael Paré, the
thank you.
the great cult actor from Streets of Fire, Eddie and the Cruisers, Bad Moon.
Yes, yes.
He's amazing. He's
So
amazing.
good. He
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it was great. Um, and was there any particular? And I'm not gonna keep drilling you on influences. I don't want to keep on, but I just have to ask: the way he is, about his mannerisms, the way he goes about doing his business. Is there any
Hmm.
particular inspiration that you thought of that you wanted to see from him, or was it just in your, again, you made it up as you wrote?
It's hard. I kind of sat with this movie quite a bit because they want outline after outline after outline. My original, I don't know how much I should say. The original version of that character was a lot more special effects heavy. But then when I realized
Mm.
I only had 6 days, we had to kind of tone it down a bit. And
Hmm.
when I met with Michael, we talked about it, and I'm like, hey, how do you want to approach it? And he said, oh, he's basically a salesman. And he kind of gave me this kind of a Goodfellas vibe. And I'm like, yes, I really dig that. Let's go with
Yep.
that because I think that'll be really fun and it'll be different. So that's sort of it was his suggestion, and I really loved how much kind of life he brought to it. It wasn't the
Yeah.
typical kind of thing you see from that character, so I thought that would give our movie a little flavor.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, when he's the salesman, because it's everything's negotiable, right? And I love that aspect of like the bartering back and forth and what will it take and all this. So
Right, right.
yeah, and there are some twists and turns, guys, in this movie that we're not going to talk about, but I promise you, you will not expect at all. And you know what I'm talking about. We talked about it backstage. There are some things, and so Ethan, let's talk about Angel again now. So you got the script in. You had what? You had three. So from tell me when you got the script. You got the part. 3 days later, we're shooting. Did you get the script that day, or when was it? When was it delivered?
I got the script the moment like
Okay.
when I accepted the role. That's what
Okay.
about the time I got the script, and we did do a read through. I think that Saturday,
Okay.
and then
We did
and
two.
yeah, we did two read throughs. That's right, Saturday and Sunday, because we knew that we were so short on time. We had to do it, and then we also knew that we were doing late nights. So
Oh.
Sean Whalen and I, we have a lot of our scenes together. So
Hmm.
we were like, we have to meet up. We have to rehearse because 90% of our scenes are together. We have to do this. So we ended up meeting up at a diner late at night at like 11 p.m. because we're like, we got to also be prepared to stay up late. So we
That's
were at a
right.
diner and we had our scripts there. And we ended up not even touching our scripts once. We just hung out the
Oh.
entire
Okay.
night until like 5 a.m. But I think that actually helped a lot with our chemistry, that we didn't even need to rehearse because we were like, oh, we have this kind of camaraderie and friendship as a base now, and I think it comes across really well on screen too.
It really does. I was going to mention that because I love the I love the interaction between those characters. There, it's great between you two. Um, and especially, I remember this scene where, and this is not a spoiler, but there's a scene where you guys are leaving a particular location in your cars rather quickly, and then
Yeah,
he pulls up beside you, and he's like, I forgot my cell phone. And I'm like, oh no. And
yeah,
I just love it where, and you look so agitated, dude. It's like you could
yeah.
just see it all over your face,
It's
man.
kind of hilarious because I am like, I'm playing this like head of a drug empire, and
Yes.
like, and my right hand man is so incompetent at times, and it's kind of
Yes.
hilarious to
It
watch.
is. It's so
Um,
fun.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost like
yeah,
no, I was just gonna say it's almost like, you have all this power and you could squash this guy, but there's something you just love. It's like, oh, come here, you knucklehead. It's got that kind of vibe going on, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just love that. That
Yeah,
between
we
you
had a
two.
lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on and off set for sure.
So cool. Um, and just everyone in the chat who's come in, want to give a blanket hello to the chat. We dove right in here. We hadn't even taken a breath yet. This is great stuff. So I just want to say hi to the chat. I see you guys are here. I'm keeping an eye on everyone. So everyone, we're all saying hello. We're going to call everybody out by name because it would take us too much time, and we only have a limited time tonight. So, but I want to say hello and let you guys know I do see you, and I do appreciate you all being here. And I'm sure our guests also appreciate you guys as well. I'm sure. So, um,
Yep.
yeah, you guys. So I hope you're having a good time in the chat. Just hang out. We're having a great time, and hope you guys are as well. And remember, if you have a question about, let me show you this wicked poster. I love it. If you guys have a question here about the Headless Horseman, it's out right now. And Jose, tell us where they can watch it after the stream. We're not done yet, but let's go ahead and tell them even now where they can watch it, please.
It's on Apple TV right now, and it's on Vudu, and it'll slowly roll out to more places. It'll be on Amazon eventually. It'll be on potentially Tubi next month. So
Ooh.
yeah, it'll be out there. But right now, Apple TV, and Vudu, and it's leaving tomorrow, but it's also in theaters. I got to buy a ticket
Hey,
for my own dang movie. Isn't that
that is
cool?
so cool, man. How
It's
cool is that to
amazing,
walk up to the ticket
dude.
counter and say, 1, 2, please, or one ticket, please, for your own movie. Oh my
It's
gosh,
amazing.
that's so cool.
There's nothing like it. But the thing is, once you make movies, you can't watch movies the same way because you're always sort of seeing it with that critical, sort of like professional gaze of like, oh, I know how they made that. Oh, well, that must have been hard. Oh, I wonder if that was done on the same day as this. Oh, wait, they're wearing different shirts. So it does mess you up, but it's nice to be a part of the art form in some way.
So cool, man. What a special experience. Get your ticket, get you a soda and popcorn, and you're walking into your movie, not anybody else's. You're going into yours. That's so cool.
Yep.
Now, Ethan, I have to ask: have you had an opportunity? I don't know, where you're located at in relation to these theaters that were showing. Did you get a chance yet to see it in the theater or no?
Yeah, I did get to see it. We had a premiere. Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2
Beautiful.
days ago we had a premiere, so I got to see it in
Yay.
all its glory on the big screen, and my massive head was even bigger. So it was pretty cool. It was a great time also to be in there, and
Yeah.
being in there watching it with people who haven't seen anything of it and
Hmm.
seeing their reactions to it.
Yes.
That like because when you make the thing, it seems kind of old to you, like maybe
Hmm.
like because you're like, oh, I already know what happens. I already know
Yep.
all the beats. Especially you, Jose. You were there through the editing process and all of
Hmm.
that. So it's really cool to uh, see brand new naked eyes on
Ooh.
something that you made. It's really, yeah, it's a
That's
really
so
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
And nerve wracking. It's the most nervous
Yeah.
I've ever
Oh.
been in. Actually, not so much with this one because I'm proud of what we did, but just normally showing
Hmm.
my work to people is really, as a
Hmm.
critic, I
Sure.
feel like if I can review a movie and tear it to pieces, then
Mhm.
absolutely my movie is up to critique in any way. But that's why I don't read reviews of my movies at all, even if people like it.
I
Um,
I can imagine it's gotta be I'd be so tense and nervous,
uh,
like, "Oh
yeah,
gosh, do they like it? Do they like it? Do they like it?" I'd be so, like, just, like, cringy, but it's also exciting, exhilarating too. That's
it
such a cool.
is.
Well, we got a great question here from Catherine. It says, "Are we getting a trailer?" Ask and you shall receive.
Let's
Ladies and
watch it.
gentlemen, let's watch the trailer right here. And I was waiting to show it to about the midway point so we get more people in, larger crowd. So here we go, guys. Let me take this banner off for just a moment so we get the full screen.
Oh
All right,
boy.
here comes the trailer for Headless Horseman. Buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
Angel, just let me pay you back.
That was Jose. You think you found your girl?
I have to go into work tonight.
Hard day at work, Sophia? Angel's been looking for you for months.
Oh, he works for Angel.
Your ex? I don't get it. What she sees in you.
Go, Flex!
Who are you? Help has arrived. Sophia has taken her, and you want her back. Yes. I will give you the tools, and you will do the dirty work. You kill them. I claim them. You will need to refuel.
I'll have to eat.
Blood. Human blood.
That kid, he's alive, but he's not normal. He sold his soul to the devil. And he's coming to kick our ass.
Brandon's not going to let you send me to Mexico. If he's alive, he'll look for me.
I'm counting on it. You will be unstoppable.
Boss, the girl got away. Find her!
Sorry.
You will be the instrument of the vengeance you desire. Give in to your rage. Give in to your anger.
No, wait, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What a good time. Oh,
I love that
so
trailer.
fun. I love it.
So
I
good.
watched the trailer maybe like 40 times. So
I can imagine,
I
man.
love it.
It's great. Well edited trailer. Now, Jose, how much did you have a hand in editing the trailer? Were you involved in that as well, or no?
No, unfortunately, when it comes to, I guess the asylum, the way they work, it's sort of a machine. So there's different portions of things that I don't. Thank you, Catherine. I don't have a hand in, so I really had no say over the trailer. But I'm very happy with the way it looks. You know,
Yeah.
it's cut and it feels like a, you know, a big kind of big budgety kind of action type movie, and I'm really excited about the trailer, the movie in general. But
Yeah.
I should mention my cast, the rest of my cast, before I forget.
Sure. Sure.
In terms of names, I mentioned Michael Pare. I've got Sean Whalen, also known as Roach from The People Under the Stairs, and many other
Yes.
things. Many other things, of course. Kate Hodge is in this as well. She is the final girl in Texas Chainsaw 3, Leatherface.
Love it.
She's great. She's wonderful in this. She's also in She-Wolf of London, which is a really great show from back in the day. Love her. And Nick Caruccio is our hero, is our headless horseman.
Mhm.
And Amanda Jones is Sophia. She's our damsel in distress. And I had such a wonderful time working with everybody. And maybe we can talk to Ethan about how good of a director I am. That might be a good.
You know, I was thinking about heading there in a little bit.
No, but we should. But I think what's interesting is something that doesn't really get addressed a lot is how actors approach a role. And you know, again, they're given the script, and I wanted to get them as soon as possible, but again, there were delays after delays. Once they're given the material, and I was able to email them and say, "Hey guys, look, I'm directing this movie. We need to get together because this movie has to happen the right way, and that means everybody's got to be on the same page, and you have to understand what you're saying and why you're saying it. Because when I write, I like to write in a certain way. There's a way you say the words for them to sort of make sense, or else, you know, someone could take, you know, Angel's lines and make it sound so goofy and just not natural. But
That's right.
Ethan was able to internalize it and make that, you know, that weird little monster that I had in my head come to life. Yeah. So, sorry, it's your show, Craven, but
No,
I'm curious how Ethan sort of
Yes.
approached the character.
Yeah, same.
Really, I just tried to look into why this guy would be doing this stuff. You know, and what I saw was he's a really broken individual, and from his perspective, he's doing it out of love. You know, and I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything, but he definitely has this colorful personality. So how I approached it was, okay, well, I just took each line and I was, so what is he trying to get? Because out of this entire movie, if you're not going to give you what Angel wants, he's going to take it from you. So I looked at every line. I'm like, okay, so why is he saying this? Oh, he's saying this because he wants a certain thing from this person. So he's going to do whatever it takes. So every line I made sure had an intention behind it, or some sort of meaning or subtext. And I think that's, I approach a lot of my roles that way, but but this one in particular, I was like, I really had to dive in and figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, as far as, I'm just curious for you, Ethan, when you're thinking about how you're going to, and I don't know how much Jose directed, how he wanted you to, your mannerisms, your physicality of it, the nonverbal performance, because body language is huge, and just the way you carry yourself and the way you look at, it could have easily, like Jose said a minute ago about the lines, but that even could have been done in a cheesy kind of way, but it wasn't. And so I'm just curious, when you were thinking about how you're going to carry yourself, if that makes any sense, in this role as this person, did you give any thought to that? Did you draw inspiration and say, "Ooh, I'd like to be kind of a mixture of these guys and this guy and make it my own"?
Definitely. I definitely thought a lot about Tom Hardy as an actor.
Okay.
Because he's someone I look up to a lot.
Mhm.
Also, in terms of movement, I was like, he has this God complex. He thinks he's
Yes.
invincible. Nothing's gonna happen to him, even when he's face to face with this flaming pumpkin head.
That's
He's
right.
smiling, and
Yes.
I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. But
That's
but
hard.
so even when he's faced with this like mystical,
Mhm.
magical, powerful being, he is, still smiling in the face of it. And it's almost like he enjoys the challenge. So I wanted to approach it as like he's almost has a high off of this. And Jose and I talked briefly that Angel, like didn't really come up at all. This didn't really come up in the movie, um but behind the scenes when we were talking about the character, Jose was like, I wanted him to be he's this drug lord, but he
Mhm.
doesn't do drugs. Like,
Mhm.
so I wanted to approach it as like he was very particular about everything he does, very calculated, every movement, every choice, um everything that he did was going to be
Yeah.
very calculated. So I just tried to implement that into my performance. Like there's a reason for everything, and he enjoys a challenge. So when he
Mhm.
was final, like almost like he found his equal. Finally, someone's going to give me like a little bit of
Hmm.
a challenge, and I play with him like it's a game. So
Yeah.
yeah, really just enjoying every moment, and
Mhm.
maybe also enjoying hearing myself speak. Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's a
Never.
big thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Never any
yeah.
moment did just this character think he'll lose.
No,
Does it?
never,
Never, never. It doesn't
never.
matter what it is, who it is. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's interesting. You talked about how he doesn't partake in the poison. He's on the he's on top of the empire, his own empire, and but he knows what he's and even with Sophia, right? When they're already trying to get her back on the stuff or trying to
Hmm.
shove it down her early when we see that. But at the same time though, because that's just a control thing, right? I'm sure was the reason for that. But but it's interesting you say that, and it's an interesting point to where I don't, yeah, I make all my money doing this. I'm a huge, powerful person, but I know better than to do it. It's like
Mm,
he knew because if he imagine if he did, it would bring his death. It would almost make its mortality more prevalent. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's how I'm thinking about it. So
yeah.
it's an interesting point for sure.
Yeah, and I figured that since he doesn't do drugs, his drug is
Hmm.
like control, is his
Yeah.
own, that's what he's high. That's what he chases. That's his high is,
Mm.
challenge.
Power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and power.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Jose, I'm going to ask you this, but because I think that you probably had a good hand in this decision.
Okay.
He's got an interesting, and I got to be careful on YouTube how we talk about certain things, but I love the particular weapon, the hand, that he likes to
Oh
use,
yeah.
and it's not a typical looking piece, if you know what I'm
I have
talking
it.
about.
I have it here. A
Oh, there
little.
you go, there you go.
This
Now,
is what's left of it
bro,
after
dude.
shooting. Look at
That is, guys, look at that in the chat. Look
that
at
thing.
that thing, man. And let me just tell you, when you watch this movie, look at the skull. I'm just not
Oh
really
yeah.
seeing that at the top. Um, when you guys see this in action, that's all I'm going to say. You will not be disappointed, my friends. You are going to be, trust me. Now, when I first saw that, the very first thing I thought of, you already know, look above my head. I said,
Hmm.
"Oh, okay, Jose, I see some Freddy Krueger inspiration here, potentially." And then, of course, I thought of, our good friend Wolverine. And I'm like, maybe this
Hmm.
is a kind of a. So I want to ask you what inspired the design. Am I hitting it or no?
Uh yeah, no, absolutely. It was a note from the producers that they wanted him to have, claws, and I'm like, all right. I mean, then you obviously you go to, well, it's Wolverine. It's
Yep.
Wolverine Ghost Rider is basically
Yep.
what they wanted, and so we leaned into it. This was a glove I found online. It was actually the first prop that I, when I went searching, when I was writing, I'm like, oh well, this we'll buy this thing. It's a prop you can buy anywhere, I guess, online, and
Interesting.
it's like
Okay.
a little gauntlet thing. We had
Yeah.
our props person dress it up a little bit with more like leather and pieces like that, so it looks a little more,
Hmm.
bespoke than just something from online. But yeah, definitely Freddy, obviously Wolverine. I came to them initially wanting to do a Scream type movie, because this is before 5 came out, and I said, "Oh,
Oh,
I'd love to. I have such a cool idea for a slasher movie. I'd love to do a slasher movie." And they used to make a lot of horror movies. Nowadays, they don't really make as many. This
yep.
one I would consider more of an action horror movie than like
Yeah.
a scary movie, but it's a fun one,
Mhm.
like a
Mhm.
Marvel kind of, like, I'm not gonna say Morbius, but you know what I mean, like a fun,
Yeah.
horror tinged movie. But anyway, so I was like, all right, if I'm not gonna make my slasher movie, I'm gonna try and put some slasher elements in it. So you got three knives on that, and then there's a shout out to Woodsboro in the movie. So yeah, I tried to bury little Easter eggs for movie fans throughout the thing.
Oh man, it's so much fun. Um, and by the way, for those that are joining new, I know in and out in live chat. We're going to be showing the trailer again in a little bit. So if you didn't see it earlier, we're going to show it again because guys, it's you got to see this movie. You got to see this film. It's such a fun movie, and it's a good story. I mean, I love the story. It's a timeless story, man. And it really
Yeah,
is. It's a timeless
yeah.
story.
It's a love story,
Yep.
initially, they wanted an action movie. And I think when you're making a low budget movie, the biggest hurdle is you can either you can go goofball with it and just make, do what you can. But for me, the most important thing, and the reason we watch movies over and over again, is the characters. We love them. We watch Scream over and over again because we
Yes.
like the characters. We care
Yeah.
about them. We want to see them over and over again. We love their dialogue. We love their
Yeah.
interaction. So that was very important to me with the script, that we have characters we care about. And so ultimately, it is a love story. It's sort of a tragic love story couched in a Marvel type action movie.
Yeah.
And that was fun to do. Not easy to do in 6 days, but I never had a bad day on set, which is great.
Wow, that's so cool. Now, Ethan, I know I'm kind of backtracking a bit because I know that we don't have you for very much longer. I know you got to go ahead. You're going to have to head out pretty soon. I'm keeping my eye on the clock up here for you, and I want to be respectful of your time. But we talked earlier about these crazy shooting times and how when you how did you overcome the tiredness? I just have to ask as a performer because you're out there like on the you know action. You got to go. You can't show you're tired. You're up all night. You're not used
Right.
to being up all night. I just would like to know because you could never. I would never know it by watching you perform on
Right.
the
Well,
movie.
first it takes a lot of caffeine. Like I probably was drinking 2, maybe 3 monsters every night.
Oh wow,
Wow!
Yeah,
Wow!
I
like
didn't know
I
that. Damn.
because I go to bed at 10 p.m. every night.
Oh gosh!
Okay, I am an early riser, and
Wow.
when I heard, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be all nighters," and I start in 3 days. Okay, I'm gonna start staying up. So the first night I stayed up until like midnight. Second night I stayed up until about 1:32, and then I stayed up until about 5 a.m. with Sean Whalen, and then I was like, "All right, I'm ready to
Ooh,
go. Let's go." I had to like build up to it, and then
yes.
the very first day, I got used to it by like the 6th day. Well, I say I got used to it, but I think the 6th day I was so brain dead, I wasn't absorbing lines. I don't know if you remember this, Jose, but I was like
No.
not able to absorb any lines, and I literally had the script at my feet, and I was like, okay, let's go for it, and looked at it. All right, I'm ready. Let's go. But that ended up being one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I was like, wow, that turned out really well. Without spoilers, just so you know, Craven, it's the one of the climax scenes.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't want to spoil anything, but
Okay. Okay.
with the water, I don't know if you
Okay.
remember. So that scene is the
Yes.
scene that I had to like go almost line by line because my brain just wasn't
Ooh,
working anymore. But it ended
wow.
up working really well, and
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow. Man. And Jose, what was it like to direct Ethan and I could just tell by the performance that this character was flawless. Like it was flawless. He got like this was the right guy. Like that's how I felt watching it right now. And it just so So how did it feel for you, man? And I know you're not new to filmmaking. I know that for sure, of course. But for this film, such a tight shooting time frame,
Hmm.
and everyone's tired. You're tired, I'm sure. Everyone's probably pushing through it, but no one lets that fatigue show. Like I was just mentioning with Ethan, never could tell that you guys were having all these days without much sleep. But how was it for you as a director to kind of to navigate these scenes with everyone and in these roles? Like how does that feel for you?
Right. Do we want to answer that super chat real quick from Jen? We should probably get that 'cause she.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this real quick here. I'm glad Jen brought that up to our attention. Thank you, Jen, for your $2 super chat. Is there a social media link for Ethan? So yeah, Ethan, anything you'd like to share where people could follow you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram with my name is at Ethan Daniel Corbett. I'm also on Twitter with underscore Ethan Corbett. You can basically find me anywhere by searching Ethan Daniel Corbett, and I'm
Love it.
all over. Yeah,
Everyone, please go follow him on social media, definitely, and drop him a line. Drop him, let him know how much you enjoy this performance, because you're gonna enjoy it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you're gonna love it. Trust me. A great antagonist, just a great character, and now that I know, I already loved everything about this movie, but now that I know your guys' filming schedule, it's just gonna when I watch it again, I'm just gonna be like, dang, man, it's just gonna elevate my respect and love for you guys, because
wow.
it's
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
I would have never
Thank you.
guessed it. I really mean that. I never would have guessed it. So Ethan, before you head out, man, and I know Master, you can stick around a little bit longer, right? Just for a little bit.
Hmm.
Okay. So Ethan, before you head out, my friend, first of all, thank you again. This has been a real pleasure for you to
Well,
come tonight.
thank you for
Absolutely.
having me. Yeah,
Man,
thank you.
this was you're very welcome.
It's
And
been so awesome. Yeah, I feel very lucky to be here. It's so great.
such an awesome thing. And
Yeah.
let us know also, do you have anything on the horizon? Anything, eggs in the fire, if you will?
Yeah. I have two movies in the works right now.
Okay.
One is called Clownin' Out, and I play the bad guy in that as well, but it's a little
Ooh.
bit different. He's a flamboyant fashion designer, so it's completely opposite,
That's not Angel.
completely opposite of Angel.
I love it.
That's going to be coming out at the beginning of next year. So Clownin' Out.
Okay.
The second movie is a movie I'm working on currently. It's called Death in Life. It has a lot. It's a fantasy adventure film. Has a lot of fantastical elements to it, and we're implementing some new camera technology that hasn't been fully explored yet in the movie industry. So when people see it,
Wow.
there's not much I can say much about it, but
Yeah.
when people see it, it's gonna blow your minds. So that's
Ooh.
pretty exciting.
That's
I'll tell you what,
amazing.
this guy's gonna be huge. Steven, we'll be
Mhm.
talking about him in a few years. Like, remember Ethan? He won't even return
I-
my calls anymore. This
No, come on, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out.
he's gonna be huge, man.
I
I
believe it.
honestly,
Yep.
he's gonna do great big things, and then the sequel comes along, and we're like, he's ghosting me. I guess.
No,
Yes, now I know.
I'll always do a movie for you, Jose.
Okay.
I have to say, I was telling Jose this the other day, but it's really great when you work with a director that you can trust, that knows what he's talking about. It makes you feel safe to explore characters, and like, if I felt comfortable walking up to him if I had an idea, and like I was like, "What do you think about this?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's try it." Or if like he didn't like it, but he would be like, no. And then you explain why it should be a certain way. And then I'd be like, oh, you're totally right. You know exactly what you're talking about. And it makes my job easier if I'm able to play a little bit and also trust that everyone behind the scenes knows what they're doing. And Jose is one of those people. So it was a really great experience. And I can't wait for the next one.
Ooh, man, me too.
Fingers crossed.
That's so great, Ethan, and I really do appreciate you coming on, man. And if you're open to coming back, I'd love to come back, bring you back, and talk about
Definitely.
your other projects, and we can
Yeah,
dive into those. And I
definitely.
would love to have you back as a frequent guest, as it may
Of course.
be.
Anytime. I think the Death in Life movie that I'm doing would be right up your alley. So
Ooh.
once that is in the works and everything, I would
Okay.
love to come back and talk about that.
Yay. Oh, well,
Yeah,
listen, I can't wait. I'll be following you on social so we can stay in touch directly.
great.
And
Yeah,
as
yeah,
that gets closer, we'll, whenever you're ready to say the word, I'll bring you on. We'll share what we can share. And I
yeah.
can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Awesome.
So everyone in the chat, and if you're watching it on replay mode, everyone who's going to be watching this, if you hear my voice right now, please follow Ethan Daniel Corbett on social media. And look, let him know how much you enjoyed his performance as Angel in this film. It's so great. The Headless Horseman, a wonderful movie. And Ethan, thank you again for your time tonight. Much
Thank you,
appreciated, man.
thank you so much for having me, and
You're so
love you, Jose.
welcome.
I
Love you,
hope
bud.
you have a wonderful night. All right,
You
thanks,
too, bud.
Awesome.
guys, and
We'll
thanks.
see you
All
next
right.
time. All right.
All right, see you
Good
next.
night.
All right.
Bye, bud.
Bye-bye now. All right. So Jose,
Now I can answer how difficult it was to work with these actors.
you know,
Oh,
now you can just let your
horrible.
hair out and just let the truth
Yeah.
run.
Well, yeah. So yeah, look, I'll answer your earlier question.
Yeah.
It's hard, man, especially when you're rushing, when you're trying to put this together.
Mhm.
When you have months and months of pre-production, then you can hang out with everybody. Thanks, Boba Fett.
Nice. All right.
You
Yeah.
have time to work and iron things out, and that's nice. But when you're rushing through it, it really helps when you have actors that give a shit, that care, that want to do their best, that are hungry to put forward a really solid performance.
Yeah.
And I had some seasoned veterans. I mean, Michael Pare and Sean Whalen have been working for years and years and years. But these, Sean is a friend. Michael is somebody I just met. But they wanted to do the best they could. And, if you have one actor that's, reticent to try something new or won't listen to direction or anything like that, it's hard. It's hard to make a movie like that.
Gotta
And
be.
I was talking to the special effects guy for this movie, and he had just directed something, and the actor was such a pain in the butt, and it was another short movie, but the actor was just being so difficult, and he was like, it kind of ruined my experience because he was being, everyone was great except for him, and he kind of, brought the set down. Here, you don't have any time, man. If we're not all fighting the same fight, then we lose the war. And everybody wanted to do their best. And, I luckily I'll say I was the only one who didn't get tired on set because, as the director, you're the captain. You got to steer the ship. You got to have an answer for everybody. That's the thing they don't tell you in film school.
Yeah.
You got to be able to answer everything. Costume comes. Hey, we lost the blue tie. Can we go with the yellow tie? Is the yellow tie? Okay, yeah, go with the yellow tie. Makeup effects. Oh, our blood gel dried up. We need to do something. Oh, we need to run to Walmart and get, vinegar or something like that. So there's all these things you have to, be okay to answer or just roll with the punches because you can't stop the train. You can't, you gotta steer the ship and get it to port. And, even there was a couple days when you could just tell everybody was just exhausted. And I was like, no. Okay, move the camera over here. We got to get this shot. This shot's important. This connects to this. And, my DP was like, okay, man, just tell me where to point the camera. I got, and so
dang.
but that's what I love. I love directing so much. It's so fun to put it together.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're gonna get sometimes. And luckily, I'm very proud of everybody, my crew and my cast. I'm just honored that they gave me 110%, man.
That's great, man. And it's got to be a challenge. I mean, I can only imagine, when because even if you're involved in the casting, you still don't know until you're out there and the cameras are set up and you don't know what this interaction is going to be like, and you just hope, right, that everyone's going to be coachable, teachable,
right.
to some degree. Man, I think it's great. Now, Paul has a question for you, Jose.
Hey, Paul.
Will there be a physical release of the film?
I don't know. They don't release everything on physicals, so I don't have an answer for you yet.
Okay.
I don't want to say no, but I've heard potentially not.
Okay.
But you will all be the first to know. I'll announce it because physical is my thing. So hopefully that'll be coming down the line. Fingers crossed on it. Email Asylum send messages to their
Yes,
Twitter and said, "Would love Headless Horseman on physical media." That would really help too.
that would. That's something everyone can do that doesn't cost you a dime and it helps the cause greatly. Because I think if enough people would do that, they'll listen. If they said if they because for them, it's a bottom line dollar. It's a bottom line business, right? That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
about. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll send the message because I'd love a Blu-ray of it. Personally, is what I would like.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, with a director's commentary track, and now I know I'm grabbing for. I'm really like
I would
pulling out
love
the
to do
big
that.
list here, but that would be so much fun. Um, let's see here. Let's see. We got another question here for you that just popped in from Popping the Popcorn, Katie, one of my
Hey,
friends and moderators of the chat.
love Katie.
Katie's great. Jose, what's your favorite moment? There you
Oh
go.
man. My favorite moment was, God, it's hard to think about favorite moments because it is always a race. You got to get the
Hmm.
shot. You got to, oh, what are we waiting on? Oh, we need to set up the lights. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So there's all this, there's so much going on. But honestly, my favorite moments were just hanging with the cast and just talking and creating that bond of we want to do our best, and there was kind of a part of us that, like, we want to prove it to them that we could do it, because
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying there's no way you're going to make 6 days, and we kind of like, oh yeah, well, we're going to show you, not only are we going to make 6 days, but we're going to make a movie that looks like it was shot in 30 days.
That's
you
right.
know so kind of just that camaraderie is really what I love the most. It's trying to make most of my friends, man, either YouTube or on set. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
I think just being with everybody, with the, bonding with the people. But in terms of my favorite thing to shoot, probably it was the last day, and we were all a little exhausted, like Ethan was talking about. And there's a scene that takes place in a parking lot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
It's a scene with the water, and
Hmm.
it was tricky. There was a lot of angles to cover, a lot of stuff to worry about. We were racing, the daylight here, and we had to really get it in. Uh, I was exhausting, but I loved it, and I remember looking at my actors and just smiling and just being so happy to. It's such a joyful thing to be able to do what you love and to
Yeah.
create, and
Yeah, man.
there's nothing like it, man. There's
Mm.
absolutely nothing like it.
That's so awesome. Were you able to do some type of rap party with just your crew together, or was you able to do that?
Well, not after we shot. I guess we should have just organized it, but we did do a rap party actually a couple of days ago, right before the premiere. We just did a fun,
Nice.
just did a get together, and
Yeah.
whoever could show up showed up. So that was fun.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Got a couple more questions, guys. Be sure to send in your questions for Jose. We're talking about his film, the really great film, and I'm actually looking forward to going back to watch it a second time. I enjoyed
Mm,
my first watch; it was a lot of fun. Headless Horseman, a dark hero is born. Man, I tell you, it's yeah. Just trust me, guys. It goes some places. This is we held off on spoilers, and we did a good job on that because we want you to see for your own self and be surprised. But you're gonna love it.
mm.
Trust me, guys. I'm not going to steer you guys wrong. You know that. So I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying that just because we're friends and we've been on each other's channels before for many
I
months. And
appreciate that.
I really
Yeah.
mean that, man. I do. I'm sincerely mean that. Danny says, Jose, I've been watching your stuff for
Yeah.
years. First, met you from Wet Movie, Brendan, and Cool Dutter,
Uh,
Chauncey Phillips.
Cool, dude. Yeah. That's great, man. Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you in the chat, dude. That's great. I'm still hanging out with them. Wet Movie was at my premiere, and Cool Dude was gonna come out, but we were sort of at capacity. But yeah, still hanging out with those guys. Love those guys.
Wow. Also, real quick, I just want to acknowledge that Jen Werner, our good friend Jen Werner, pillar of the community, today is on her 9-month anniversary of being a channel member of the channel. Thank you so much, Jen, for your loyal and faithful support every single month. 9 months as a Cravenite. Wow. That's Jose. Where's time go, buddy? 9 months. I mean, where
I,
does this time go? I don't
dude.
understand it. It's just crazy.
I know, you know, before you know it, we'll be talking reviews for Scream 6, man, or 2, or
Bro.
whatever that's called now.
I know, right? Seriously. It's gonna be I'll be like, Jose, we gotta get you on, man. We gotta talk,
Uh,
we gotta talk. It'll be here before we know it.
yeah,
Um, let's see here. You know what? There's a lot of folks that are joining now that weren't here earlier. So it's time to let's watch this trailer.
yeah,
Get some love on the poster, by the way. Poster's great. People are loving it.
I'm glad.
Um,
Thank you.
it's good stuff. Guys, listen, sit back here and enjoy. I'm going to show you the trailer again. This movie, I've seen it. I loved it. And it's really a good story. So check it out, guys. Enjoy the trailer for A Headless Horseman. Jose's wrote and directed the film. Here we go.
Angel, just let me pay you back.
That was Jose. You think you found your girl?
I have to go into work tonight.
Hard day at work, Sophia? Angel's been looking for you for months.
Oh, he works for Angel.
Your ex?
I don't get it. What she sees in you.
Go, Flex!
Who are you? Help has arrived. Sophia has taken her, and you want her back. Yes. I will give you the tools, and you will do the dirty work. You kill them. I claim them. You will need to refuel.
I'll have to eat.
Blood. Human blood.
That kid, he's alive, but he's not normal. He sold his soul to the devil. And he's coming to kick our ass.
Brandon's not going to let you send me to Mexico. If he's alive, he'll look for me.
I'm counting on it. You will be unstoppable.
Boss, the girl got away. Find her!
Sorry.
You will be the instrument of the vengeance you desire. Give in to your rage. Give in to your anger.
No, wait, no.
Man.
There it is.
It's
There
just
it
like
is.
I did, having seen the movie, still watching these scenes, it gets me pumped up, man. I just think it's great. And I
That's
love
great.
that. I love the line you wrote there where he says, "You will be the vessel for the vengeance you desire." And there's something about that line that just really does. I don't know. It just hits me, man. I love it. I think it's very well stated. And it's kind of like, because he's wanting revenge. He wants revenge. But you know what? Sometimes careful what you ask for, right? Because you'll get it.
Yeah.
But guess what? You have to be the one that delivers that revenge, not someone else. And
Right.
so basically, like, and again, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but here's the tools, but you got to do the work, kind of thing. And thought that was cool, man. I like that angle to it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with, again, we don't want to give too much away, but when you're dealing with certain with that character specifically, you have to sort of, consider the moral. What is the moral high ground? You're dealing with anti-heroes and things like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie. So yeah, I love exploring that angle. It's who can a normal person cross that line and still be morally justified, even in a fantastical sense, like where do you draw the line between hero and just monster? And I kind of dig that we can explore stuff like that, even at this kind of level of filmmaking,
Yeah, definitely. Boba Fett says, "Hope there is a sequel." And by the way, I'll just say this: I see where this could be a possibility. So,
I
what do you
will
think,
say.
man?
I will say, I know everyone says this, but I have a trilogy planned,
What?
and one of the producers has intimated that they do want to do a sequel. So we do
Ooh.
explore the world. We bring in the other side of the equation to that one character, if you know what I mean.
I do.
A little,
Okay.
yeah, kind of, yeah. Get a. And there's something that happens in this first movie that is sort of re-explained in the second one, that sort of leads into where our third movie goes. And I don't want to give too much away, obviously, because there's a lot into it.
Nice.
But there is a trilogy plan, and hopefully we can pull it off. I know that the producers really like the movie and they're very happy with it. So, if there's an
Ooh,
audience out there and people watch it and rent it and tell them they want physical and it gets a lot of word of
yes.
mouth, that really helps, especially for a small movie. That's not like a Halloween Ends or a Scream 6. That's the most crucial thing, is to have a grassroots people saying, "Hey,
Yes.
we liked it. Can we see another?"
That's right. Absolutely. And guys, we can go to, I'm sure, Asylum social media. I'm sure they've got their official
Yeah.
Twitter page, I'm sure Instagram, Twitter, and their website. We have ways, guys, as the community, that we can help make things happen, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
let them know we're loving the movie. Just a tweet. Hey,
Yes.
headless horseman kicks tail, any just that feedback coming in is
Yeah.
going to be nothing but fuel
They
to
love
get.
that. They
Yeah.
don't get that kind of stuff. So if people go out of
Hmm.
their way to say, "Hey, nice job on this one," they'll be like, "Oh, okay." The people responding to it, and it gets on their radar
Yeah.
more. So that helps.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Real quick, Hobbs Horror. What's up, Hobbs?
Hey,
Says congrats and can't wait to get my copy of the movie. Always a pleasure to see what you do. Longtime fan and sub.
I love you,
Nice.
Hobbs. That's nice, man. Thank you,
That's
bud.
great. And once again, Jose, because we have a lot of new people, tell everyone where they can see this movie right now after the stream.
Right now it's on Vudu, VUDU. For those of you not familiar with it, I'm not. I only know that it's like the Walmart one. But yeah, it's on Vudu and Apple TV at the moment. It is in theaters, but tomorrow's the last day that it's playing across the U.S. I got to go. I got to get my ticket. How cool is that,
gotta
man?
gotta laminate it or something, dude.
I do. I do. I gotta take care of that. And then I guess after it leaves theaters, it'll branch out more. Eventually, Amazon Prime and maybe down the line Tubi. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be on VOD for a good long while. And if it does really well, then a physical would absolutely happen.
Yes. And don't forget, guys, too, to subscribe to Master Chaos, Jose's YouTube channel. That's right. He's got a YouTube channel. And Master Chaos there's the link. Katie's got it in the chat. Just
Thank you,
click that
Katie.
link, please. Yes, click that link. Go subscribe if you haven't already. You'll be very glad. And you want to stay up to date on what he's doing. As you can see, he's a mover and a shaker. He's always got something going, right, Jose? Always.
Always,
Always
always.
something. Catherine says this is a modern version of a cult classic. Love it. Can't wait to see it. All right.
Yeah, I mean that was the idea. I mean, obviously we couldn't do the horse and the whole thing.
Yeah.
They wanted a modern kind of version of it, so I said, okay, well, let's go
Mhm.
Michael Mann with it.
Yeah.
Let's do Drive. But like so, you got the motorcycle and you kind of make it a gritty kind of street drama kind of thing, and it's sort of a remake, not a requel, but a remake
Yep.
of the concept of the Headless Horseman.
As Bon Jovi would say, on a steel horse, I ride.
That's right.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Danny's got a question. What cameras did you shoot on? Looks flawless.
Nobody shoots on film anymore, so
Yeah.
unless you're Christopher Nolan or something, but he has the money to afford that. We shot on a red Gemini and a red Dragon, which is just a really high end digital camera on 6K. Yeah, I mean, it's if there's no 6K screens available, but man, yeah, we
No.
shot it on full super
Wow.
resolution. Yeah, so it definitely has that nice professional sheen to it. It's good looking cameras.
That's another thing I was going to mention, because a lot of times with these independent films that I, will sometimes dip my toes in the water and dare to watch sometimes, there are some gems out there, right? Don't get me wrong.
Mm,
But there
yeah,
are some, Jose, and I know that I'm not going to call any by name because they're doing the very best that they can with what they have. Every
yeah,
filmmaker sets out to make a good movie. So I respect that. But there's still those movies that looks just a step above an iPhone quality, or maybe even a step below. And it's like, this looks like a VHS. Remember those old VHS camcorders? I used to have one,
yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
sure.
and it's like,
Yeah,
it takes me out of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I can't when I know so blatantly obvious these are guys in their house, in their neighbor's house with the camcorder. I'm sorry, I just can't. It just takes me out of it, Jose. But
Yeah.
what I love is this movie looks visually like a movie. It looks
Yeah.
very good, and
Yeah.
like I say, I don't know what your budget was, but I bet you it looks better than the budget you had to work with. 'Cause I'm sure you made it stretch, but it looks great, man. It really does.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
what you want to go above and beyond. You want to be able to, you know, go above your means if possible.
Hmm.
So we shoot widescreen. We make it look like, I mean, we're shooting a theatrical movie, a big old movie,
Yes.
and you get big locations and open
Hmm.
spaces, and
That's right.
I love designing the feel of a movie, because that's really what sticks with you at the end of the day. Just the way it made you feel, the way it made you look. Every movie has a very special look and feel.
True.
Even within franchises, the Scream movies all have different feels.
Yes, they do.
Same director, for the most part,
Hmm.
same writers. So, but they all have a same DP. Peter Deming did
That's
all,
correct.
all the first four. So, but still, there's a different flavor to all the movies. And so I love designing that. I love capturing sort of that. That's really what the movie magic is for me.
So awesome, man. Hey, Jason. Jason says, "Sorry, I'm late. Match Chaos is awesome."
Thanks, man. Jason is awesome.
Jason is awesome. He really is.
Absolutely.
Um, where else? I had another one here I wanted to pull up. Where was it at? Now Lee says the trailer looks awesome. Gives me so much Ghost Rider vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I know you were mentioned earlier that's kind of the not per se exactly like that or anything, but it was kind of the vibe that they were wanting, right? That modern kind of feel like a
Yeah.
ghost, and that's not a bad thing, right? Because I think you pulled it off great, and it's not Ghost Rider. It's a very
Yeah.
different movie.
Right, right. Yeah, no, they absolutely wanted they said, let's do motorcycle,
Hmm.
and it's a headless horseman thing. And the first thing I said was like, so it's Ghost Rider,
Hmm.
and they're like, yeah, but not really. And then when you're given the story basically, and you're given all these puzzle pieces, and you're asked to put it together, and you don't know what
Hmm.
the end thing is, you have to do your best to make it your own. And again, you
Yeah.
create characters like Ethan's Angel. You create a character like that, and you let
Yeah.
him run loose, and then you kind of sit back and see what kind of chaos that character will do. And hopefully
Absolutely.
people don't see it too much as, because we didn't intend
No.
it to be a ripoff of a
Yeah.
Ghost Rider and things like that.
No. Not at all. At the most case, I would say inspired by, but not
Mm,
copying. Inspire, and then I think it's great. I mean, it's you guys just need to see it. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's really well executed, and that the word executed is a tough one because a movie hinges on execution, no matter what it is, in my book, and
yeah.
that's the key. Real quick, Hobbs says, I also recommend The Haunting of Whaley House, another film by Jose, which was fantastic. Yeah,
Thanks, bud.
that's right, man.
Yeah,
Jose's
that's
go ahead, go ahead.
That's the first asylum movie I directed for them, wrote and directed for them, and it was a haunted house movie. But again, we had 12 days to make that
Yes,
one, and that was on one location, so it was a little easier than
goodness.
what we had to do.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, that
it's funny. I went to see Kevin Williamson's new movie, Sick.
oh, I
There
haven't
was
seen that. I've heard about it.
nobody's promoting it. I don't know when it's
Ah.
coming out. Hey, Killjoy Jake's in the chat. What's up,
Killjoy
bud?
Jake. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. So no one's. I don't know what's happening with this movie. But there was a festival screening here, and I went to see it. And afterwards, Kevin's talking, and he goes, "We shot this movie in 21 days." And I felt like yelling, "Shut up!" 20,
Quit whining.
21, 21 days. I could have shot 3 movies in that. But that's the benefit. I mean, and he was saying it gee, only 21 days. Like, good, geez, that's super difficult.
Right.
But, 21 days. That's a luxury, man. You can take a day off at that point.
That's awesome. But you know what's cool, man, is grinding your teeth, getting your,
Mhm.
what I'm saying, you're getting conditioned to handle a 6-day shoot and pull it off well. And the payoff's going to be as the people see this and they're like, oh, he can do, let's give him more. I want him to have more time. Let's see what he does with that. And
Yeah.
dude, that's like, your reputation just continues to grow and grow. And man, who knows, dude? You may one of these days, you may be messaging me saying, hey, Spyglass just called. And I got 9 weeks to shoot a movie. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that would be oh my god, what a dream. What a dream, man.
Hey,
That's the reality of filmmaking nowadays, though.
yeah,
When you're
true.
when you're half of the movies being made, actually more than half. Thank you, Lee or Lay.
Lee,
Thank
yep,
you. Half of the movies being made today will never see the light of day. And
yeah,
half the other half of those movies will get more than half of that half will get really modest distribution, like my movie. And then some come out, and then the others come out in theaters, and again some have varying degrees of success in terms of budget and things like that, in terms of audience appeal. So you never know. The reality is, if you're a filmmaker nowadays, you're making 6-day movies, you're making 12-day
yeah.
movies, you're going broke, you're
Wow.
literally have 2 jobs to support yourself. It's tough. I think it's harder than ever to make a movie. It's easier because you can just go, get your phone and make a movie, but getting people to see it, getting people to pay for it is different. And that's
Yep.
the sucky part of filmmaking nowadays. Is the distribution side is terrible.
Mm,
And you could get your movie out there. You might, maybe Wild Eye releasing or put it out on DVD,
yeah.
but you ain't never making your money back. And that's the
Wow.
sad part of it. And again, maybe that's kind of made me a little bitter, in the
Yeah.
filmmaking space, because it's so hard to make a dream come true.
Yeah, man.
The radio sciences of the world are the
Hmm.
the exception to the
Yeah.
rule. There's
Yep.
they locked out. Obviously, they're talented and all that stuff, but
It's true.
it's so hard to get to a point where you can, where people give a crap. And
Hmm.
if I can do anything in the film space and at least have fun with actors and walk away satisfied, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
I've made peace with it. But again, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
Nope. You never know how the journey of life's going to take you, man. And I think the key is you just make the most of the opportunities you've been given. That's all you can control. And then you just wait and see what doors open up and what comes
Yep.
next. And dude, it only takes one person in the right position to see something and say, okay, I like the way this guy's thinking. I want to meet this guy right here. I want to meet this. And I'm just saying anything can happen. Because the thing about a movie, which is great, is it is literally your resume on the screen. They can watch the
Yeah.
writing abilities, the directing styles, all that's in front of them. So it's out there, and they're all out there. Everything you've done is all out there. So, bro,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, nothing with you talked about Ethan. One day you think making it big time, right? And dude, don't sell yourself short either, man. You may
I
be, you
appreciate
know what
that.
I'm saying? So I'm not, and then I'll be the one saying, I can't get Jose to respond to any of my messages.
Oh no, no
He's
way, man.
I can't get him to call. He won't. I'm just like I'm a memory. No.
Yeah, no, no, no. I'll never forget. I don't know. I don't know what the future of YouTube holds. For me, for now, I'm having a great time on it. But I will never
Yeah.
forget my YouTube buddies, man. That's like brothers for life, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's a real camaraderie between us content creators. It's a really awesome, sisterhood,
Yeah.
brotherhood, because it's a really cool thing, dude. I'm really
Hmm.
blessed to be a part of all this, and I still pinch myself every day that this channel is even here, that this is even something that I can do right now with you, sit here and talk and enjoy each other's
Right.
company, and this is
Yeah.
amazing. So,
Absolutely.
Jen has a question for you. Are you in the SAG?
Are the actors
I
SAG
mean, are you
members?
actors? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, Jen. The bigger names are Sean Whalen, Michael Pare, Kate Hodge. They are, and then uh, I don't think Ethan is. I might
Okay.
be mistaken on that. I don't deal with all the paperwork, all the
Yeah.
guild paperworks. I don't. I hate the paperwork stuff. Yeah, I'm the creative. I don't want to look at paperwork,
Yes. Yes.
unless it's the script. So, but I think like my main actor Nick Caruccio and Amanda Jones, they're not. Thank you, Catherine.
Yay.
They're not SAG as far as I know. But that's another hurdle to making an indie movie. If you do a SAG
Hmm.
movie, you got to do certain things for SAG. You got to pay more money to the guild to have these actors in the movie, and then there's certain things in post that you have to do, and it's just like,
Wow.
man, it's front. I mean, you tear your hair out trying to figure this stuff out. That's why there's some amazing crew people who love. Well, actually, nobody really loves it, but some people who are really good at that paperwork stuff that really enjoy doing, all the mundane things
Sure.
that I don't like, and so that
Yep.
really helps grease the wheels because it's the least fun stuff to do. Or talking to an agent, haggling over how much money, and
Oh,
all that
yes.
awkward stuff. Ugh.
Yes.
Nah. And it's, you don't want to do that as a director because it's like you're
No.
working with these actors. You don't want to have to
Right.
say, "Oh, I'm only willing to pay this." You want to
Yeah.
stay out of that so you can be the, objective person and be like, "Hey, we're just making this thing. I don't know
That's right.
anything about your payment and all that." I
Mm-mm.
should mention, as a horror thing, we forgot to mention,
Yeah.
I have one of the most amazing gets in this movie. Harry Manfredini, the man behind the Friday the 13th soundtracks, did our score. We got
Oh,
Harry Manfredini, man. I am
dude. I didn't
amazed.
even
I'm
know
so
that.
shocked. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Now that I imagine was not uh on the discount row. I imagine that probably was a nice a little extra spin, but worth it.
Yeah, well, it was literally 2 days before we were shooting. I wanted a composer to really bring a, there's sometimes they use some library music and things like that, and it just feels kind of generic. I didn't want something generic. I wanted to
Yeah.
feel like, an alive thing, something unique.
Yeah.
And literally just stumbled onto Manfredini's website. I'm like, oh my god, wouldn't it be amazing? And he
Yeah.
had his contact thing, and I just sent him an email. I was like, hey, this is probably a long shot, but I'm such a fan. I think your music is wonderful. Well, I'm making a movie. It's very low budget. Da 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 da. What are the chances of you potentially doing the soundtrack? Is that even something you're open to? And he said, he wrote me back and he says, "You got it. I'm doing it. Let's make it happen." And I was like so
Dang.
shocked. I'm like, "Are you serious?" And then I met him for lunch, and
Now
he's
you
like,
tell me you didn't go to
there's
McDonald's, man. Don't tell
no,
me you
we
went to
didn't.
McDonald's. Okay.
We did not. We went to Burger King.
There you go. Much better.
No, yeah, we went to lunch, and he treated, which I thought was nice because I was going to treat him.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm like, oh man, I love, like, Deep Star 6, House. I love your music and all this stuff. And he
Wow.
says, well, he goes there, there's something, it was just something about you that I felt like I just really wanted to work with you. I wanted to help you out. I'm like, dude, thank you so much. And now he's a dear friend, and we're gonna potentially pitching something to Netflix. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Yeah.
Mm.
So not only that, I've got some great
Hey.
actors, but I've got a soundtrack by the guy who wrote Jason's theme music. Oh my
That's
god.
nuts, dude. That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool, Jose.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm
Woo.
it's one of those things that just blew, it still blows my mind that it happens.
I love
Yeah,
it. Pittsburgh Night says, who does that? Master Chaos does.
that's right. That's right.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
much to be proud of with this movie, man. There really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just another thing to be proud of that you pulled off that and that he saw something in you that there was a connection that he was on board and did it.
Yeah.
Because like you say, I mean, it'd be like me going to Marco Beltrami for me,
Yeah.
right, and saying, "Hey,
Oh my god. Yeah.
can you?" It's like there's no way this
Oh,
is gonna happen, and then he says yes. It's just about, you know, that's
dude.
so cool.
Yeah.
So
You
cool,
know, it's
man.
funny. I was rewatching Fear Street on Netflix, and Marco did the soundtrack.
Yep.
And right from the beginning, I'm like, man, this sounds a lot like Scream. And then his name popped up. I'm like, oh, of course. Like it just had that feel to it, you know. Like he has those
Yes.
little notes he throws in. Yeah, huge fan of him too.
Yeah,
That would
man.
be amazing.
Yeah, he's
Um,
phenomenal, phenomenal. I was so disappointed that they did not use him for Scream 5. I was like, "No, please, at least keep Beltrami with the theme, with
yeah.
the music." But anyway, we're not talking about Scream tonight. This is a special stream, special.
We always end up there somewhere.
Oh, and all these are what we around here. A lot of folks say all roads lead back to Woodsboro at some point, on every stream. It happens, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so let me think. A couple more questions, man. Then we can call it a night here. I appreciate you going extra long.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Um, so questions I have, and just sometimes I often wonder the kind of the odd stuff that people probably may not necessarily think about. Like,
Mm.
so, and I'll ask you as a director, because like, how big was the crew when you were shooting? How many people were you managing in this thing,
Mm,
approximately?
it wa it was a smaller crew than normal, than you would normally have for a movie like this. Normally, you have like 60 people. I think we
Yeah.
had 15
Okay.
people.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
And in a way, I like it smaller because you move faster with less people. You don't have to
Mm,
drag like a big entourage.
yep.
You know, you don't have to like this guy tells that guy to do something. It's like that guy's the guy who's doing it.
Yeah.
So it moves a lot faster with less people. But then then you're also running into the issues of you're understaffed, or something
Yeah.
gets forgotten to be done because, oh wait, I'm sorry, I was juggling this thing, I forgot to do that thing. There's pluses and minuses to anything, but the good thing is it was all non-union, so you didn't have to worry about union breaks and all
Oh,
this stuff, which
good.
is wait, because that eats up time too, and
Yes.
you can do that on a 9-week movie but not on a 6-day
Hmm.
movie.
No, that's cool. Also, the big thing though, you still had to work with that 12-hour limit that Asylum put on. That was I guess they wanted some level of covering themselves too, right? Like we need to implement,
Yeah.
a point where we can say, hey, we after 12, you're getting a break. Like you got to stop. And,
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I don't
think
know what the thinking is, but anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't even know honestly, because it was hard. It was really really hard, um, to really have only 10-hour working days.
Yeah.
And I think it was a thing when we couldn't afford to have, like, if you go after 12 hours, you have to do a second lunch, and so you have to buy everybody
Mm,
lunch to keep going. Like, we couldn't afford to do that.
okay.
I think there was issues with that. I mean, to the point where my line producer, who, by the way, I should mention my line producer, his name is William Butler. He is amazing, and you will know him when I mention everything he's in. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
He's in Ghoulies too. He's actually the final boy in Leatherface. He's the boyfriend of Kate Hodges' character in that.
Oh.
So that's actually where they met. They're really good friends now. As he Leatherface, he's in the Night of the Living Dead remake directed by Tom Savini. He's
Mm-hmm.
Tom. He's the guy in the basement, and he's a director as well. The most recent thing he's directed was the Baby Oopsie TV series for Full Moon. And
Oh my gosh.
Man, he's got a ton of credits.
Wow.
He's an amazing guy, and he was my line producer, and he had uh, went above and beyond. He was catering the dang thing. Like he would barbecue at his house and then drive to the set to feed
Are
everybody.
you
Like people,
serious?
yeah, people really cared. People really cared, and they really supported. And like, if you have one jerk, and it's like the one rotten apple spoils the bunch kind of a thing. But everybody gave a damn, and that's honestly, that's just it's a miracle, in
Wow.
Hollywood, that people still give a crap.
No doubt, man. Hey, look here,
Thank you.
Alex from Podcast Now. What's up, buddy?
What's
Come
up,
in.
man?
Keep on rocking, you two. Great people that deserve all the support. Oh, Alex, thank you.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate you, man. You're a great friend,
Yeah.
and always, talking about, this is what I'm talking about. We were just talking about Jose, the camaraderie, the family of us as content creators. There's a bond that we form together, and
Yeah.
and we form bonds with our subscribers and our everything else too. But for us, it's a different kind of thing. It's like a sister brotherhood bond, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Gory B calls me and Knight her big brothers, and I get that.
Nice.
I get that though. It's that kind of a thing, and we all understand each other. We can relate to each other in different ways
Mm,
because we understand the grind. We understand what it takes to be successful at YouTube, which is hard. It's not easy, and
no,
it's at
no.
all. And YouTube gives you nothing. You have to earn everything in this journey, and that's kind of life in general anyway. Life really, you have to earn it. You got to go out and work hard, but it's just great. Like, anyway, Alex, I'm just saying thank you for popping in, my friend. It's so cool that you're here as well. Um, and Alex, I see your comment. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, okay. We're not even that movie. I'm not even talking about it tonight. Where it's like this is and you know what? I have to say, thank you, Katie. Really, we love you
Oh,
too.
we love you too, Katie.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. You know, it's been nice to just talk about something fresh and
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this has been so enjoyable tonight. And not and I listen, guys. I love talking about Halloween ends. You guys all know that, but I've been talking about it every day, sometimes multiple streams in one day since Thursday. So this is the first time I've not said that movie or talked about it since yesterday. So this is it's just a nice break, honestly, from Halloween Ends. Not and again, it's not because I don't necessarily like the movie and all that, but just you know, I posted a video earlier today called "A Plea for Civility," and if you guys in your chat haven't seen it yet, it's on the front. It's my newest video. Katie, maybe you can put a link if you wouldn't mind to the video. And basically, it's my plea in the horror community to be civil to one another. And there's enough of this toxicity, and I hate to say that word because it's so overused, but we're seeing this
Mm,
divisiveness about this movie where it's not.
right.
It's like it's okay to hate it. It's okay to love it. It's okay to be right in the middle, which is where I'm at. I'm right in the middle. But here's the thing: what's not okay, and I'm not going to rant because I did a whole video ranting, but I'll say this and I'll move on. It's not okay to put your opinions ahead of people. Like,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Because in order for us to be kind and civil, it's about caring about people. You know, Jose, you and I may have, and I don't know this, but I'm saying we may have polar opposite views on a movie, a movie. But I'm
mm,
not go. But I'm going to respect your view, and I'm going to be like, you know what? That's
same.
okay. Yeah, and you'll respect mine, and we can have a
Yeah.
friendly conversation about it, and we could come out at the end of the day. We're still friends. We didn't, we're not raising our voices. We're not being ugly and rude to each other. It's a movie, for crying out loud, guys. Let's
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
the movie's going to come and movies are going to go, but people are what remains, and we need to keep our relationships the number one thing. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. If you
Yeah.
guys, sorry, go ahead, Jose. Sorry, go ahead.
I just quickly, I will
Yeah,
just add on that. It's as a filmmaker and as a film fan, it's really hard to judge a movie when you first see it. You know what I mean?
right,
We won't really ever know the impact of Halloween Ends until 10 years from now.
true.
Until we get
Yep,
the new Michael Myers
the
reboot, and then
news.
we people,
Yep.
people will like Halloween 3 when that came out. I remember I was
Oh,
like, what the heck is this thing? You
right.
know what I mean? But then now we all really enjoy it for what it is.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I was not a fan of Halloween Ends. I think it's a huge misstep. But who knows?
Hmm.
I'm open to the possibility that in 20 years I come back and I go, oh, it was interesting. I still
Right.
don't love it, but I don't absolutely want to burn it to the ground like I want to right now.
Right.
But so I think, and like with the new Scream trilogy, we won't really know how we feel about it until it's way down the line. You know what I mean? Because you have to let it sit. You have to let it fit into the franchise, and
Hmm.
I think you have to give that. Yeah, I think you owe it to the filmmaker and the
Yeah.
movie to sort of let it sit. And so that's why I sort of stayed out. I did my
Yeah.
review, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole
Hmm.
looking at other reviews and things like that. because I feel like I'm just gonna take a break from the conversation
Yeah.
because I'm not ready to fully discuss it yet. Although I am talking
Mhm.
to Killjoy Jake about jumping on his stream and maybe venting a little bit, but we'll see.
Oh my gosh. Um, and Alex says there really isn't anything like talking about something daily to the point of burnout and then
Mhm.
pivoting to something fresh and incredible. Yeah, that's how I felt all night since we started. It's like this is
Yeah,
fresh, it's fun, and I'm talking about something that I really want people to enjoy because I think they will. If they'll just go out right now, guys, and
I hope so.
go to Apple TV, Vudu, watch the movie, and it's gonna be a nice escape for an hour and a half, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's greatly executed and performed by the cast.
Thanks,
It's
man.
really great.
I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to make a fun movie for the audience to enjoy. I
Yes.
wanted to deliver the goods and at the best of my abilities. I want people to have a good time and enjoy the experience, and hopefully wanting a sequel. Which fingers crossed we can get
Yes.
one. And I'm planning, fingers crossed, a big Asylum universe cinematic kind of like MCU type thing with
Ooh.
Headless Horseman and a few other characters connecting into a sort of a bigger story. We'll see.
Man, dude, I tell you, I'm excited. I'm very pumped to see what's coming next and what the
Yeah,
potential is for you and with Asylum because it sounds like Asylum is a good partner. So it's like that's a good team, right? Of producers there that
yeah,
give you some
they
freedom.
care. They,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they give you freedom, but then they're also very hands on, which
Okay.
you get it. But
Yeah.
I love them. They respect the filmmaker, and
Mhm.
you just have to work under certain budget limitations and things like that. But if you can argue for things, and they'll if it makes sense to them, then they obviously want the best movie possible. And
Yes.
and that's what everybody wants at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
that's the goal, to make a movie that people will enjoy and will go on to do something, at least put a smile on somebody's face and maybe cheer them up. That would be that is the ideal for me anyway.
Absolutely. And I have to ask you last question I've got for you, man, and then we'll show the trailer one more time for
Okay.
those that have come in late so you guys can see it and get your appetites ready to go so that when we get done, you go right, go get it on Vudu and Apple TV. Um, so you mentioned the food service thing, and that was something I was wondering about because I've always wondered this because you've got 15 crew members, like approximately whatever. You got your cast. You guys are out there overnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says, I want a Starbucks, or and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It may not be that way. I know it is like on like screen sets and stuff, but that's a different
Mm-hmm.
setup, right? Um, so one of the things that Lynn McCree, who plays Maureen Prescott in Scream, shared with
Yeah.
me when they were filming the third Scream film, she's like, Wes has, and again, the budget, we're talking about a, what, $40 million budget.
Yeah.
So come on,
Huge.
huge budget. So, but she's like, they're filming there overnights, all night long. And she's like, he had literally had like coffee trucks, like Starbucks type coffee trucks on site out there on Sydney's house up in the middle of nowhere where she was
Mm-hmm.
living. And she's like, it was like 2:33 in the morning. And he said, not only that, he's got people there to go get it for them. He has like, he says, she said, it's like first class, the way he treated all the actors and everyone. And so he's like, she said, not one, but two trucks were there in the middle of the
Wow.
night, fully stocked, like with lattes, whatever you want, espressos, all this kind of stuff. So obviously, I know that's not how it is on, outside of those kind of films. But did you have a scenario? Did you have like an ice cooler full of water and Gatorade, or like, well,
Yeah.
just walk me through, like, because you're outside, you're filming, it's whatever,
Right.
you know.
Well,
How'd that go?
the hardest thing was we were shooting overnights, and so you would normally hire a catering company to come and
Yeah.
bring food every night. I have a gluten allergy, so I had to have a special meal, all this stuff.
Hmm.
The biggest issue was because of our late nights, no catering company works overnight. you know,
Ah,
at our budget level, I couldn't
yeah.
afford to have a truck come out and hang out, for the whole time. So we had to improvise as best as possible, and that's why my line producer would do the cooking at
Okay.
home and then bring it over. In terms of coffee, we had a coffee maker there, and somebody would fill it up with water, and you'd have coffee there, and you'd have like a table of snacks, like
Oh yeah.
cookies and fruit and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
sodas and waters and stuff. But when I'm working, I have no time for any of that. So
Oh, I
I've
bet.
never I didn't spend any time at like what we call craft services. I had no time for any of that. But
Oh,
people seem to be okay. But if you need a Starbucks, wait for lunch and go drive to a Starbucks if you can find a 24-hour one.
right.
But yeah, it was there's hurdles, but
Oh, sure.
I don't want to ever shoot a movie at night again. It was so
Oh,
hard, and it's hard on the cast. And then you're sending people home tired. You don't want them to get into an accident.
yes. Yes.
That's a worry too. You don't want people to come. Oh, I had an accident because I fell asleep. I mean, you hear about
Mm.
that all the time. It's a big problem on sets. People work a long time, long hours, and they get home.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do overnights anymore, but I might have to if we end up doing this trilogy. We'll see.
That's true. And it was funny when Ethan said he was drinking 2 to 3 monster drinks every night. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang. Because, like I say, everyone does a great job of acting not tired. Like, because you don't see, because you know how it gets when you're tired.
Oh
Fatigue,
yeah.
you'll start showing it. Like, you can just see it. But I would have never known. So, well done to you, man. I seriously,
Thanks, man.
legitimately mean it. I really had a fun time watching this movie. I've seen it once. I'm going
Thank
to
you.
rewatch it again. I may even watch it again tomorrow because I really, really
Great.
enjoyed it. And I really just loved all the characters. It was really well done. So
Thank you,
you
man. I
killed it,
appreciate
man.
that.
Seriously, you're
Thank you.
welcome. And guys, listen, before we wrap up really quick here, I would like to show the trailer one more time. And so, guys, check it out. Here you go. If you just joined, here is Master Chaos, Jose's movie. He wrote it and directed it, guys. Headless Horseman, new picture from Asylum Studios. Here we go.
Angel, just let me pay you back.
That was Jose. You think you found your girl?
I have to go into work tonight.
Hard day at work, Sophia? Angel's been looking for you for months.
Oh, he works for Angel.
Your ex? I don't get it. What she sees in you. Go, Flex!
Who are you? Help has arrived. Sophia has taken her, and you want her back. Yes. I will give you the tools, and you will do the dirty work. You kill them. I claim them. You will need to refuel.
I'll have to eat.
Blood. Human blood.
That kid, he's alive, but he's not normal. He sold his soul to the devil. And he's coming to kick our ass.
Brandon's not going to let you send me to Mexico. If he's alive, he'll look for me.
I'm counting on it.
You will be unstoppable.
Boss, the girl got away. Find her!
Sorry.
You will be the instrument of the vengeance you desire. Angel! Give in to your rage. Give in to your anger.
No, wait, no.
Man, that last scene is great. That's like, dude. Oh, man. So, guys, remember, it's Headless Horseman. One more time. I make sure you guys know which one it is. You'll know the artwork right away. You won't miss that. Look at that. It's so great. Check it out, guys. It's on Vudu right now, Apple TV, and in theaters for one more day, right, Jose? Or is this
Yeah,
today
yeah.
or one more?
Tomorrow's the last day. Yeah. So I guess the 20th will be the last day in theaters. Yeah.
One more day in theaters, guys. If you can get to see it on the big screen, man, that's the way to do it. Yeah, that's the way to go if you can do it for sure. Also,
Yeah.
don't forget to contact Asylum, hit their social media, let them know we want to see this on Blu-ray, physical DVDs, and we
Yeah.
want sequels. Sequels.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't even have to watch the movie first. Just send
Yeah.
them a tweet. Hey, we
Hmm.
loved Headless Horseman. Would love to see it on physical. And dying for a sequel. That's incredibly that's like giving a thumbs up. It's so helpful to the movie, and to let them know that people
Yeah.
actually give a crap. That
That's
really
right.
helps.
That's right. So guys, everyone here, I'm gonna ask you all to do that for real. Not no joke here. Not like, oh yeah, I'll do that sometime. I'm actually asking tonight. I'm gonna go do it when we end this stream. I really am. I'm gonna go straight over, find their social media on Twitter. When
Put it
it's,
in the description if you can too.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. I will do that. I will find that location. I'll come back, update the description of the stream, have it in there so that way everyone that watches this on the replay, and there'll be a lot of replay watches, you guys can see it there. And let's go do that. All right, let's start a movement to let them know we love the movie and we want more of it, because that's going to help. You know what they say? Was it like I remember they used to say like every fan letter or every letter a studio gets, they equate that to like several hundred people, like that actually, because
Yeah.
most people never write in, right? They never
Right.
do that. So
Yep.
anyway, guys, be sure you do that. Catherine says, I'm going to stay up. I think I'm going to stay up and watch it. Do it. Do it,
Nice.
Catherine.
Thank you.
You're not gonna be sorry. So guys, appreciate you all. Thank you all for your questions, for your super chats earlier tonight. I appreciate those. And Jose, I'll meet you backstage in just a minute before we shut down. Um, but
Okay.
but thank you. I also want to say thank you now also again for coming tonight, man. This was so much fun. Oh, I
Thanks,
enjoyed
dude.
it.
It's an honor to be back on the channel and to chat with
Yes,
you. And I'm
thank
I'm
you.
so glad you liked the movie. And for everybody who hasn't checked out my channel, I documented all 6 days of shooting. I have a vlog series
Oh,
where I
I
go
gotta watch that.
from pre-production to the last day of shooting.
Oh,
We have all the table reads in there, and all the kind of
oh,
we had a really fun time making a movie. And yeah, it's good, especially if you like the movie. You get to see what everybody's like, sort of behind the scenes, and all the kind of the goofiness. It makes you feel like you were there. And
I
so
love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they kept me sane.
Bro, I listen, and everyone go to his channel, Master Chaos, link it in the description. Katie's also put it here several times in the chat. Please go subscribe while you're there and watch the behind the scenes. That's so cool. I'm gonna watch those, man. I'm so far behind. I'm gonna go watch those vlogs. Catherine
Great,
says, "Great
thanks.
chat, Craven. I enjoy this." Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate you being here for tonight and spending all this time with us as well. We appreciate you, and definitely let Jose know what you think about the movie. Contact
Please,
him, let him know your thoughts, because I think you're gonna really like it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fast moving, fast paced film too. So I didn't mention that earlier. It really moves. So, but you know what? It doesn't suffer character development. Scream 5. Excuse me. Pardon me. I had a bug in my throat.
yeah.
Yeah. So see what you can do in an hour and a half. I'm telling you. So anyway, good stuff, man. I'll see you backstage. Everyone in the chat, real
All
quick,
right,
want to let
brother.
you guys know in 2 weeks, Ashley Ray Riddick, the stunt double for Jamie Lee Curtis, will be joining me to watch Halloween Ends live on the channel, a watch party. She'll be here where she's going to walk us through all of her behind the scenes about the movie, her scenes, all those scenes in the kitchen that we saw. Most of that footage was Ashley. So we're going to get to talk to her all about that for the big showdown with Michael Myers. She'll be here on the 29th at 9:30 p.m. So be sure you mark your calendars. The stream is on my channel. Just click it, hit notify me, and you'll get reminded. And come back. I'll see you before then, but I just want to start plugging this now because we're only 10 days out. It's going to be a great time. She's an awesome person, and I can't wait to hear her talk about making that movie. It's going to be fun.
Can I say real quick? I want you to. I'm sure you'll do a video of it once you come across this news item. This just dropped. Danielle Harris and I'm blanking on her name. Oh my God.
Oh, Scott,
Lori.
something Scott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scout Taylor Compton.
Yes.
They commented as to the cold shoulder they got from Jamie Lee. Damn.
Dude, what's up with
You
that,
gotta do a video
bro?
on that. You gotta do a video on that, man. That was like, jeez.
I know. I
That's
just
cool.
saw that a little earlier actually, and I'm like, what? What? That's I remember the Scott person. I can't remember her name again, but you know,
Scout Taylor Compton. Yeah.
Scott Taylor Compton. I saw in the article she's like that. She basically almost like cried. She was so
Yeah.
embarrassed because she thought Jamie Lee would know like who they are in the film
Right.
in the franchise, and she didn't like really know who they were. And anyway, yeah, that's a shame. You hate to hear that, man. You really do.
You do. It's
Um,
awful, man. I'm so sad.
yeah, that's just. But you know what, guys? We don't make the news. Like I say, we just report it. Right? It's not our creation. Uh, but Boba
Yeah.
Fett said, "I just tweeted the Asylum asking for
Nice.
sequels and a Blu-ray." There you go.
Hell yeah. Nice.
I'm gonna be doing the same thing in a minute. So they're gonna see the love coming in for the movie, dude. Let's do it, guys. We got this. Let's make it happen. Then we can have I can have Jose back when he gets greenlit for the sequel, and we can talk about the sequel. That's going to be amazing. So
There you go.
we're
There you
speaking
go.
it into existence, my friend.
There we go.
That's what we're going to do.
Hopefully. And then
All right.
you gotta fly down and be in it.
Oh, hey, you know, we'll talk. My salary's negotiable. All right.
Okay, good. Good.
We can talk about it. I'll have my agent. My wife is my agent. She's the accountant,
Gotcha.
so she'll be the one to talk
Hopefully it's
to.
not a Nev Campbell situation where
Oh gosh. Guys, I was gonna appear, but I didn't feel Jose paid me my value to come down. So no, I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
That would be incredible, dude. Seriously, that'd be amazing. All right, guys. Well, listen, we're gonna head out. So you guys have a great rest of the night. I'll be back soon, definitely on Saturday. You may see me sooner than that, but keep an eye on the channel. You guys know the drill, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, guys. See ya.